morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, and welcome to another video of Dive and Trading. My name is Daniel, and today, guys, I did an update on Skillz. Okay, Skillz stock, ticker symbol SKLZ, currently on the New York Stock Exchange. It's an online mobile multiplayer video game competition platform which is integrated into iOS and Android games. Okay, so players use it to compete in competitions against other players across the world. Now, guys, this is a company I've had for a while. It's been taking an absolute beating. When I'm talking about beating, a complete beating. We know that value stocks and growth stocks have been on the downtrend for the last few months. Having said that, this is no exception. This is one that if we look back at the all-time highs back up here in February, right down to where we are now, we're talking about a 90% drop. If we talk about when it was IPO back in 2020, we're talking about 56% drop. So yeah, a very big drop, and people are starting to think whether they should be holding this company or not. Now we'll look at the company in terms of numbers, because I think that's what we need to look at, numbers. When we're investing in a company, we're looking at a company that does not obviously have profit at the moment, but there are other factors we need to consider, right? We are seeing growing revenue, which is good, but there are some other things that are not so good. So let's go through the bads and the goods and the bads and see whether we think it's investable at all. So it's time to buy the bottom of the beaten down Skillz stock. While coming in the new year, Skillz continues to post fantastic revenue growth. Unfortunately, this did not translate to gains for investors. Okay. Skillz launches its India pilot. Now, this is actually one of probably the most positive sentiments. In fact, the only positive sentiment that an investor could have for the future. Even having said that, we need to start to see numbers. And based on the numbers that they are at the moment, someone would say that they're undervalued. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if it's undervalued or not, because if you start to look at revenue, but they don't have cash on their hands, it starts to get worrying, right? So how they do that as a company is very much down to the management team. Plays a big role in how the strategy of this company works out. A lot of big companies back in the days when this first started out did spend a lot of money on marketing, did spend money on advertising. So these are the sort of bumps, should we say, companies do go through in the early stages, these innovation companies, but whether they manage to get past that barrier always remains to be seen, and we have to be very cautious of when we're looking at these companies. So looking at the fundamentals of the company is key, especially this year is very, very key. Having said that, we're not sure that this launch in India is actually priced into the stock, the price, the stock's price itself. So it's going to be a very interesting year. It's going to be a very interesting quarter. When we're talking about the quarter, with one in the near future, we really have to keep our eyes on this to see how we move forward. Having said that, on looking at the good news, as mentioned, India is potentially a massive market for Skillz, and probably could actually be their biggest market. The reason to say that is that the gaming market in India has actually grown around 40% between 2019 and 2020, and like in the US, the gaming industry in India is dominated by mobile. Around 80%, 86% of the market consists of mobile phone users. This makes it an ideal market for Skillz to expand. So yeah, this article also goes on to talk about how it could lead lower. Okay, based on its current price to sales ratio, it's at around about its 12-month trailing 12-month PS ratio is 5.1, whereas the industry is around about an average of 4, so it's slightly higher. If you took a look at the software sector industry, it's actually 5.7, so it's in between. So in terms of that value, if you're looking from that type of value, is not really undervalued, if not reasonably valued on a price to sales ratio, right? Goldman Sachs index of unprofitable tech stocks has been crushed in the recent weeks. This index has now drastically underperformed other indexes and continues to hit even lower. The PS ratio of the entire industry could even sink further. So we're not talking about this company. We're talking about all companies in this industry. So we'll see. In terms of the industry, this is quite an interesting point here. The mobile gaming industry in India is expected to reach $5 billion by 2025. This could translate to a large revenue surprise, sending Skillz stock higher. So yeah, so this is the catalyst. This is the catalyst. This could be big, and this is what investors, whether you're bearish or you're bullish, this could be very bullish, but there's a lot of bearish points. So let's have a look at these bearish points. So following a huge jump in players, Skillz has added only a modest number recently. Okay, so the numbers of users haven't increased recently. It has increased over the last couple of years, but more recently they haven't taken on more. The company is spending a lot on sales and marketing than it earns in revenue, so a little bit worrying there. In a bid to spur growth, it is investing in more innovative games and features. So yeah, so they're spending, this is what we've talked about before. So Skillz is a mobile game platform where users can wager on the games they play. Okay, so the bulk of Skillz struggles in 2021 can be seen through its monthly active user trend. So in the 9 months ending September 30th, 2020, Skillz increased monthly average users to 2.6, out for 1.5. Which is good. Okay, that's good. If we fast forward to 2021, and in the 9 months ending September 30th, Skillz had 2.7 million users and an increase of only 100,000 from 2020. Okay, so the increase there is not good. So that, from an investor's point of view, is a real slow in terms of growth, right? That, despite management's valiant efforts to boost user growth, in the 9 months the company spent $310 million on sales and marketing, while it earned revenue of $275 million. Yeah. So yeah, that's quite quite a hit. So similarly, in the 9 months ended September 30th, 2020, Skillz spent 172 million on sales and marketing on revenue of 162 million. So Skillz spent more on sales and marketing than it earned in revenue in both years. However, the significant difference is in the results. In the 9 months of 2020, Skillz acquired 1.1 million new users. During the same time in 2021, it only gained only 100,000. So will it be any different in 2022? Unfortunately, 22 is unlikely to be significant different with Skillz. The same economic reopen trends will likely persist despite rising COVID cases caused by Omicron variant. Nearly 9 billion doses of vaccines against has been administered, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, a little bit more about that could be a, now, if we start to have a look at this, it starts to get a bit worrying, right? It starts to get a bit worrying as an investor. So it does remain a very, 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 very cool, a very speculative stock to have. Having said that, there is the good news on the Indus side. There's the way they're spending the money. With this turnaround, we could have a big catalyst if we start to see numbers, users, and revenue increase. I think they've spent what they have to spend on sales and marketing. If they do decide to spend any more on that, then as an investor, it's like, hey, what you guys doing, right? You need to we need to really follow the fundamentals of this company. And at the moment, the fundamentals are really quite weak. People talk about this being undervalued. I don't want to say undervalued. I would say it's probably valued at what it's supposed to be at the moment based on the current numbers. Unless we do not see increase in cash on the table, then it remains to be seen whether it's investable or not. Having said that, we're going around the corner. Let's have a look at the pricing now. Pricing is quite interesting. Hang on, before we go into pricing, let's have a look at what's been happening recently, actually, which is quite an interesting point, which is the insider trading volume. So if we have a look at the trading volume over the last 12 months, there's been some selling, quite a bit of selling, and then most recently we've had in the last 3 months some shares have been bought. Okay, so in terms of the selling compared to what's being bought, there's a big difference there. That's why it's really quite negative. If we go down and have a look at Cathy Woods and co, they're actually shorting. They've been short. Well, they've actually been shorting their whole funds, I believe, recently. So yeah, if we look at ARK Invest, they actually have they've been shorting this recently. Okay, so this is the change. So the change is the amount of shares bought sold by the shareholders between the last 2 reporting dates. So this has been a short on that. So yeah, in terms of that point of view, a bit worrying. Now let's have a look at pricing. Where are we? Pricing, here we are. Pricing, now here we go. Let's have a look at the technical analysis. Now technical analysis from a long-term point of view, from a macro point of view, is looking promising. But having said that, we're at a level now we've never seen before. This is at its all-time lows, okay? But if we have a look at the support level here, so we have I would consider a strong support level in the short term at least, okay? Not talking about long term. In the short term, we could see that we're at this level at the moment. Okay, so we zoom in, we actually are bang on this level. Now, I'm not going to be lied to you. I have this company as a long-term hold. Having said that, I have been taking advantages and shorting this on margin to take some profits away to actually reinvest back into the company. So I've been taking advantage of these drops that have been coming down on margin, shorting it, making money, pulling it out, and most recently I've just pulled it out. Got around about $1.50 on each share. So taking the money out, and then I'm actually putting it back in on the long. So it may be a bad strategy, you can decide, but that's what I've been doing. So I've actually been shorting the market recently to make up for the losses I've made across my portfolio, and it's worked off. The shorts worked off, but whether the long works off now, we do not know. So we're at this level here. Support level, boom, 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 boom. If we start to have a look at the RSI is showing that it's actually oversold. Okay, so we're oversold. If we look at the simple moving averages as well, we're actually below the simple moving averages. So I think there's a little bit of a way to go up on the upside. Okay, and it's going to be very interesting how this plays out in the next few weeks. This week, next week, I'll be keeping a real good eye on this, because if we drop below this $4 level, we could see rock bottom. Okay, there's then no level to be looking at. I'm not saying it's going to go down to zero, but then we've got no level to be looking at, and that's when it will start to get a bit worried. Okay, so these are the support and resistance levels. From this point of view, if we have a look at this, it's looking promising. We'll keep an eye on it. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments down below. Are you holding this company? Are you shorting this company? Love to hear your comments down below, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, you want to see more videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button to see all my updates. Guys, thank you for watching. Take care and speak to you soon. Bye bye now.